here we go. It's Thursday night. Hello, 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 hello. It's Thursday night. We're going to have lots of fun. It's going to be a live craft show for adults because we use sharp things like needles and pins and scissors and heat guns and dangerous tools for adults. So we have to be for adults. And we're also a live chat show, and we will be interacting with the chat room all night long, acting as goofy as possible because that's the way we like to do it. And so if you're watching this at a later time and you want to zip through the boring parts to get to the fun parts, I invite you to do so. In the meantime, we'll be acting up with the chat room, and I'm going to get them all in here in just a minute. Get the right screen up, that one there, and here we go. So Sherry's in the room. Hi, Sherry. You're number one. Woohoo! It's always nice to be number one. That's a good thing. How's Sherry today? How are you? What you doing? Hope you're doing something fun. I am been in here piddling as I do, and I'm trying to get a little room over here. So, hello, hello, everybody coming in. Here we go. We're going to do some things tonight. I was cleaning my desk off, thinking about what I'm going to do tonight. Sherry says, I'm good. Made a Christmas card. You did? Well, great, Sherry. Good for you. Good girl. Hi, Teresa. How's Teresa feeling? Hi, Beth. Not home, but on my way. Had birthday party for Mom. Oh, how sweet, Teresa. How nice. Oh, I'm sure you just brought a terrific smile on her face today. Great. I know you don't get to see her as much as you would like to. Oh, so that's pretty nice. That's really nice. I'm going to be working on my harvest book a little bit today, and I have a few things that I've tucked in to uh, to make and to create in this book. I've got a few things left in here to do, and I'm filling up the empty pages. And I'm very interested in getting the spine on this. I've been not really complaining. I've been saying I'm going to be putting a spine on this, and I think it's time. It is time to do that. So I am looking over here for some type of cardboard that's heavy enough to use for a spine, and think I think I found it. Okay. I'm going to use this. This is the bottom of the box. And I'm going to sneeze. Oh, don't you just hate it when you get ready to sneeze and it goes away? There it comes. It went away and it came right back. So anyway, this is the thickness of my spine. So I'm just going to maybe uh, take a pencil and see about making it about that wide. So I'm just going to draw a line, and that's how wide I'm going to make my spine. How about them apples? So I'm going to take my sharp tool, and I'll take my ruler. I got a ruler over here, and I'm going to make a cut on this cardboard. And that's how I'm going to make my spine. So it's just the eye, just eyeing it, just making an eyeball. I'm not measuring or anything like that. Making it as easy as possible. So I'm just going to cut down here a couple of times till it cuts through. Put my sharp tool and my ruler away. And we'll get some scissors. And I have some pretty fabric that I thought would go good with this page. And I will use my pinkering shears to cut my fabric. So that's what I'm going to do. And I have used this fabric. So I'm going to use part of it. And it's going to be about 3 times this size. So all I really have to do is move my book for a minute, just a minute. And just a tiny minute. And my spine's going to be 3 times this because I want enough on this side, the middle, and then the other side. So I'm just going to roll it up 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to cut right along there. So this is how wide my fabric is going to be on my spine. And I'm just going to cut it up high enough to go just to the top like that. So that's more than enough. I'll have some to trim off. We'll do that later. So I'm just going to trim this over to here. And it will go on top. It'll go up above and below. So I'll have enough to tuck. Yep, we're going to tuck and roll. So how's everybody doing this evening? What you doing? Joe is in the house. He just came home. He brought me Chinese. He's spoiling me. And I had some lovely Chinese for my dinner tonight. So this will go back onto the in the fabric drawer over there section. This is extra. I can put it away. So here's my spine. And here's my book. So I'm busy. I'm busy. So there's Teresa and Sherry. And there's Melissa. Hi, Melissa. Janet's here. Hi, Janet. Oh, she's going to go post for me. Thank you, Janet. Thank you so much. Hi, Mina. Hi, Brenda. Melissa's here. Hi, Melissa. Renee's here. Hi, Renee. And Vanessa's here. Woohoo! Vanessa's here. I can relax. Vanessa's here. So, hi, everybody. Hello, hello. It's Thursday. So, we're going to have a good day. It's been a crazy day today. Well, it hasn't been really crazy. It's just been overcast and balmy, like it's going to rain, and it's raining right now as we speak. It's drizzling outside. It is. So I don't think I need, well, I might need these because I've got them pinking sheared on one side. Now I need to pinking shear the other side. So I'm just going to fold this up like this and trim off just the edge to give it that pinking shear zigzag. And then again, I will cut the bottom and the top again as soon as I get it sized out. So I could do that. So what I'm going to do now is glue this in the middle of my spine. Let's do it like this. So I'm going to glue it down. And I don't mind the white showing. The white's not going to really show, but I am going to use just regular tacky glue. And this will be this is not a professional spine. This is a crafters. This is a crafters, we're making it up as we go spine. And it seems to me I've done it like this before, probably a time or two in my life. But now this glue right here is going to go to the fabric. It's going to be glued down to the fabric. And since it's going to go on the fabric, I think I will smear that out a little bit. Smear it out a little bit with my palette knife. Just like that. So that it doesn't have any lumps. So that's fine. That's all I need to that. And I'm going to lay this down on my spine of my fabric. And this is going to go towards the back of the book. And as you can see, there's really nothing for it to be glued to because all I have is edges of paper. I might be able to glue a little bit of the threads, these threads, but I'm not going to really worry about it. The fabric is going to hold the book together. That makes any sense. The fabric's going to be the strength. So I'm just going to drizzle a little bit more glue down. And this glue did come through to the other side a little bit. And I've got some wallpaper here. And it won't hurt a thing. I won't let it stick. Okay, but I'm going to drizzle some glue on both sides of my new spine. I'm not going to really put any glue on here, just on the fabric, because it's going to be on the cardboard of the book. And I'm just going to drizzle it again. Just go ziggy zag. And I will use my palette knife again. And this is tacky glue. You could probably use Elmer's glue or any other kind of glue you got. I don't think a glue stick would be strong enough. And Elmer's glue would work just as well, but it would probably take a little longer to dry. Tacky glue is a bit thicker, and I think it will adhere a little faster. And I'm only going to go to the bottom of the cardboard. And I'm going to take my palette knife and do the same thing again with the glue and just sort of smear it a little bit. Just a smear. And that'll be perfect. So now I'm going to take my my book and I'm going to lay it down beside my cardboard. So the cardboard to the back of the book is beside the cardboard to the spine, like that. It's just an L shape. And so this is going to work like a hinge. Maybe that will be a good description. And I can go ahead and cut this bottom part off right here because I'm not going to be needing it. So I'll trim that off. Straight across. And I think I'm done with the scissors. So now all I have left to do, I can fold this up, and on the back side there's my fabric. Now it's gooey, it's sticky, so I might need to put some wax paper down. So I can do that. The wallpaper is pretty good too, but I can use some wax paper. until it dries. Good. So that'll be all right. The wallpaper's good too. So, but anyway, I'm going to lay this on the wax paper now. There we go. Now we don't have to worry about the wallpaper. Okay, and so the next thing I'm going to do is glue this other front side. And I'm going to do the zigzag thing again. How's everybody doing? Everybody talking to each other, saying hi? I've got my eyes down on my table. I'm not paying attention to chat at all. But hello to everybody coming in. Hello, hello. We're working on my fall book. And I am going to get on my felting here in just a second. I think I'm going to have to turn my fan on. There we go. And I'm going to use my palette knife again and just sort of smooth that out a little bit. And then this is going to go to the front. So this is the spine. And I'm going to take and sit my book up on the spine. And now I'm going to put I got my front cardboard right here, laying on the side of the spine. And now I'm going to flip that fabric up onto the front of the book. Hi, Joe.
Hi, ladies. Hello, hello.
What you doing, Joey?
All my favorite ladies. I see
Here
you.
we are. We're all right here.
Or Chicken Pot Pie Society.
So now this is still wet, but look at my new spine. It's still wet, but I've got a new spine. So I'm going to lay this over and let it dry now. And it'll dry in a little bit, and maybe we'll put another fall page in here. So here we go. Good job.
Hillary, Wagon, Cheryl, Brenda.
So that's going to dry.
Hey.
It was a success.
That's a good looking spine.
It's fallish.
Yeah, it's fallish. It's got good 2 inches on each side.
There's Brenda and Barbara, Renee and Brittany. Hi, Brittany. My mom got my card. Your mom got my card today, and the chat from Beth in the chat thing. You're welcome, Brittany. I know she's getting ready to have surgery, so we want to wish her the best. Barbara's got the heat on in the house, and I've got the air on. Would you turn my fan on back there for me? This little fan right there.
Sure.
Please, pretty please. I'm sweating bullets. So hello, everybody. Hello, hello. I'm going to continue to work on this. We did paint it last week. Had a ball doing that. Had so much fun doing that. And I'm trying to decide now where to pick up. What am I going to pick up on this? I gotta make those little pixies. I'm watching my fingers. It's felting down nicely. And I gotta do some pixies. So I'm going to get my picture back. Melissa says, hi, Joe.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see her. I'm Melissa. Oh, okay. You just jumped on there. Hi, Melissa. How you doing? Uh-huh.
Here's the what we painted. I thought I captured it pretty good. And then over here is the felted piece. So I'm going to put this as my inspiration here to work on tonight and get me some colors.
You're welcome, honey.
And I need
doing some good artwork and stuff too.
She is.
Everybody has got a unique way of doing everything, and it's so splendid that you ladies are sharing.
Yep.
Your alls with everyone.
Yep. Yep. It is. And you can do lots of different things with your with your wool, and as you can see, the pixies or the little elvesies have a peachy type of skin, and so I'm going to use this white for both faces because I only need half and half, and I'm going to take a little bit of this little it's a lavender shade, and I'm going to mix it with this white. And this is not it's an off white. It's not snow white. It's an ecru white. But I'm going to mix this little bit of lavender with this, and I'm going to make a little tiny skin tone that you're going to be amazed. You're just going to be amazed how it's going to look. Joe, you're going to be amazed.
I am amazed
Yeah.
every time I come in here.
Oh, goodness. So anyway, it will be just enough white and just enough of the lavender. It's a real light lavender shade, and uh, it's not really a pink. It's not purple, but it's even lighter than that. I think it's more on the purple side, but it is a real light shade, and it'll make a beautiful skin tone for these little pixies or elves or whatever they are. So, and there's more than enough here for faces, but I'm going to make their face, and then I get to make their little hands. So I'll save a little bit out of the way for their hands. So anyway, I've mixed this up all by hand, and I don't know if you can tell, but there is a shade.
Kind of got a little pink shade. Little.
You can barely see
Yeah.
that purpley
Oh.
pink in that shade, and it's going to make a beautiful little skin tone. It's not white, it's not brown, it's not black. It's it's just elf skin. It's going to be elfish. So I'm going to put a little ball there and a little ball over here for these two little
Yeah,
elves.
it's called neutral face.
Yeah, they're neutral. But it's a shade, and you can do it with a green. If you uh, the more you felt and the more you get into doing things, you'll be surprised how you can get out of the basic routine colors that you would see, and that were you can make it your own by giving it your own shade, and and uh and it's different. It's you. It's all you. So there's the two little elves, and I've got a little bit left over so I can do their little hands. And now I've got to lift this up a little bit where it's going to be felted down, and this is on a little blanket of the lure. There we go. So hi everybody coming in. We're felting right now. We just put a spine on my fall harvest book, and we're going to do a fall harvest page. And I do want to get my map back out. I started my map Tuesday, and I've got some of y'all already are on the map, and I've got two maps. I got one for the world, and then I have one for the United States, and the lower part of Canada is on that map, and I'm kind of glad that it is. So I'm going to put some of the Canadian girls that are close to the border on, put a push pin in your name. So there's those. So now I need some green and some reds for the hat. And I'm thinking that this is a good orangey. I'm going to mix it with some red. This, I've got more yarn. And I want to mix some green. I like this green here. So I have not talked to my Janet today. I haven't heard a word from Janet. And
Probably sleeping.
well, right now she should be asleep. And I know she's been very, 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 very busy. And I hope that everything is going really smooth for her. There we go. Pull some of that off. And maybe use a little bit of that. We'll see. We'll see. Put that out of the way for a moment. I want to get some red. Can you get this plate right here? Everything's sliding off the top of it real fast. There you go. And gather that whole, this whole lid,
Okay.
lid and sit it over somewhere else. So I can have this. You can sit it right down in this box, I guess. So I'm going to use a little more red, and this is a cranberry color. That might be the red that I need. And the green might need a little bit of that shade of green. We'll see. We'll just wait and see. So I'm going to work on the hat. Do you see another little bag of wool?
No, but there's some red over here. We got that
No.
bag there.
Oh, this bag. This is what I want. This is a bag. I don't see any red in it. Okay.
Yeah, there is.
Go over to my stand, my vegetable stand up there. You see red?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know you do. Bring me some of that red. We won't need a whole lot for the hats. They're uh, real tiny. So I only need some like little tiny sprigs.
How about this one or that one?
Yeah, now that's red. I believe they're the same. So that looks good. But this is the red that I wanted for the hat. So I'm going to make this hat first. And we're going to make a long, pointy hat for the elf. And it might be a curl up here, or a little, not a curl, but a little natural bend. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to put this down first. Put this down first. There we go. And I might just put my thumb and pull a little bit. Put that right there on top. So, Joe, will you read me the chat, honey, since I'm working?
Okay. Yes.
Just say, Melissa says, I'm good. Barbara says, we sure miss our Janet. And Brenda says, I agree, Barbara. See how I'm reading the chat?
Mm-hmm. See, Melissa says I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now read me something I haven't read.
Oh,
Go back up a little bit. So anyway, I put that little cranberry on top of this red with a little sprig of orange. So I'm telling you, this type of blending is just awesome. It's awesome.
okay. Well, hi, Barb. And she said hi to me. So, Brenda, hello, hello, Renee, and Brenda D. Okay, Melissa, how are you? And Barbara, we should miss Janet. Yeah, we do.
See how that's working out? I'm going to make the base just a little bit wider.
Brenda misses her too. Popping red. Yeah. Hello, Miss Angie. Hello, hello, ladies and Joe. Sherry says hello. Angie.
You need to be more when you read chat.
Yeah.
You need to be more energetic.
Yeah. I'd have to charge you more then.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Couldn't afford it.
Well, tell us something today. What did you do today, Joe? What have you
What did I
done?
do today? Oh gosh.
What have
Remember,
you done?
you know I don't have memory recall.
So I can add some more red to my hat, and I can make it a little bit thicker. Give it like a little bulk on top of it, and that might give it some 3D lookingness. It's going to be lookingness like it has 3D. I love to make up words. So Angie's in the house. Hello, ladies and Joe. Sherry says hi, Angie. Vanessa says, "Yo, Ange, yo, yo." Angie says, "Joe, you can have Beth to read what I'm writing."
And you want me to do the pumpkin?
uh, Laura, who? She's asking me to ask Laura to be on the prayer prayer list because she's on bed rest. We will definitely pray for Laura on bed rest. I don't know who Laura is. Uh, Barbara says she has snow, and yesterday was snowballs and snow people weather. I didn't participate, but today the Angels was in the snow weather, but it was hard standing back up. Did you do, Barbara? Did you lay down and make a snow angel? Did you? Good for you, Barbara. Angie's talking about Laura Jersey. Okay, I will definitely do that for Laura. Yes, Laura is on bed rest with her foot. Uh,
I hope she gets better.
oh no, I don't know if it's for her foot or not. Okay, thank you, Angie. Uh, so anyway, I am felting away, and I had put a little bit of orange and a little bit of cranberry on top of my red, and I'm still adding a little bit more red to it, and I'm going to add some more of the orange and the cranberry because I've kind of buried it where I put some more red on top, but I didn't like that look, so I will definitely try to bring it back. That's a good thing with painting and felting both. You know, you can add on top of what you're doing. Uh-huh. You sure can.
That's a very good way to say that, Vanessa. That she's sending love and prayers to all the ones that need it.
That's right.
And there are
Absolutely.
a lot of them that need it. A whole
Absolutely.
lot that we don't even know.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that need need lots of prayers. People we don't even know, people we don't know about that are watching, and they're having difficulties and they don't want to say anything. So we're praying for them anyway. We're going to pray for you anyway, whether you've asked for it or not. Uh, Everybody is in our prayers,
Yeah, it's just the
and your
time.
families.
We're
Yeah,
getting into a time of the year that everyone needs
a little.
prayers and fellowship and just the loving, caring
Yes, we
feeling
will.
about from other people.
Yep, it's
Because
always good. Always a good thing.
I always said my philosophy was if we're going
How's that
to
hat look?
it's got a couple little itches on it, but
I'm working
it,
on it.
I know you're working. But if you got somebody to pray for, then that's a good thing. It's a
And
good thing.
then that
Let's hope
cranberry. I wonder what I
they
did
get
with that
stronger,
cranberry.
whatever they're going through. My mom's going through a whole lot.
Yeah, we pray for Joe's mama. Um she's at home
She,
and she's recovering, and she is having good days and bad days. And I think that would be a good way to say it.
yeah,
She's having good days and bad days, and but I think the good days are
yeah.
they're becoming more and more good days than bad days, and that's what we want. We want all good days. And so there's some burgundy in that,
Yeah, there is.
and I'm also going to put this little bit of orange on there.
And turn it back to red.
Well, it blends.
Oh,
It's going to blend and show some highlights. This is working out really good. It looks great on the screen.
let's see. Sherry says it's snowing and blowing here. Hubby mom is still in the hospital. Oh, her hubby's mom is still in the hospital. Well, I hope she gets feeling better. And we're gonna see.
You need to read it out loud so we can hear you. Everybody, that's the way we do it, Joe.
I know, but I don't.
So, let's see. Janice Glines is here. Hi, Janice. And Barbara Chicken Pot Pie is going to send some of that snow down our way. She's ready to share it. Ready to bring it on. Share it. Share it. Share the love. Oh, Sherry, we're sorry about your mother in law. We hope that she continues to improve. There's Janice. The west of us, Janice says, in the U.S., the mountains will get some this weekend. Okay. The big mountains in the U.S. are going to get some snow. Winnipeg. I might as well get the Canada bit map out. They're talking about the maps. They're from Winnipeg. That is a area in, I guess I could show it to you. Okay, we're taking a break. Taking a break from the pixie, from the elf. Here is my Canada picture here. Okay, now, Winnipeg is right here in the middle. Right there is Winnipeg. So, is it safe to say Barbara and Sherry are both from Winnipeg? Is it safe to say that? Can I put two pins right there? Winnipeg. Mhm. Let's see here. Winnipeg, Manitoba. Manitoba. Is there a Manitoba there?
Can you see it?
I see Winnipeg,
Oh, I can see Winnipeg.
and I'm looking for Manitoba. And the only way I know to do it is to do this.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Abby.
And I guess it's just the outskirts of Winnipeg.
Manitoba.
Mm-hmm.
Province of. It's the Providence.
Mm-hmm.
Is, what was that from? Oh, what's St. Boniface? Did you already get that from Sherry?
Mm-mm, not yet. I found the zoo. It's the capital city of the province of Manitoba. Thank you. I see it now. There's Manitoba, Canada, Winnipeg. Well, I'm going to put um, you and Sherry on the map as soon as I find my push pins that I put away safely over here so I wouldn't lose them. I did. I put them away safely and I piled it up so I can get my push pins back out. I just don't have enough hands. I'm gonna put me some more pins back up here. But Winnipeg is where Barbara and Sherry is from. Would that be correct, Barbara and Sherry? Can I just put one? We're both from Winnipeg. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to put Barbara and Sherry right here together. Yeah. Since you're that close, you belong together on the pin. You're right together with the pin. So isn't that great? And Joe, I'm going to let you in here, and you can talk about the map if you'd like.
Oh,
And I'm going to go in the kitchen for a minute.
okay.
So tell them a story, Joe.
I haven't got any stories.
Make it up.
Always do. Hello, hello. See, you got it? Okay. Okay. We were talking about last night, or the night before last, how I told Beth we were looking at the United States and how I wasn't very good in a lot of things about I should have been in classes and stuff. But I would love to take the old railroad out west trip before I get too old to not walk. But or she gets too old to not walk, and but we enjoy this map. See, now I don't know how she's reading that thing with this covering it. Okay, okay. Little sister's crafting. Sharon, Nessa. Whenever that's called uh, whenever I do the live chat and I just mention the names of the ladies that are on there, it's that's called like shorthand. You shorthand, you just kind of cut it short. So I do shorthand on the live chat. So I'm sorry, I don't do a full fledged report. Oh, but yeah, we were talking about that last night. Just the how the states come together and all got together and everything. And I guess that's why they say that Tennessee, West Virginia, and Kentucky have evidently everybody just gathered up in the middle there, and they never got too much going on. And I tell you what, one thing it just blows my mind that when you have uh, all the you think about all the presidents and stuff that back then in those days took trains before they had planes and stuff, took trains and stuff all the way across the United States and made that trip. And because my uncle lives out in California, and I've never been to California, but I'd like to go and see him sometime. And one of the guys from lived here close to me and had a business over here in Florida, and he went to Washington and started a new business, and it was he had his own uh, music studio, and I haven't heard from him, but he showed me where it was, and it's been a while since I even looked that up, but I didn't get to do a lot of touring and things like that when I was younger. Matter of fact, unfortunately, that my going to vacations crossing the Ohio River in Kentucky, and that's about as far as it goes. But and we did go to Virginia Beach one or two times where my uncle lived, and we got a young lady that lives. Who was that in Virginia Beach by Norfolk,
Well,
Virginia?
Cheryl lives in Richmond.
Richmond. Yeah, we've been there a couple times. That's a beautiful place. I've been to Colorado once I got a little bit older and went skiing out there 2 or 3 times
Hi, Kathy.
every other year out to Denver and around that area. And they got a hot springs down Glenwood Springs. That's a wonderful place. And it was if you ever go to Colorado, if you go to Glenwood Springs, you'll know that what I'm talking about. It's got a supersized Olympic pool that is got the hot springs in the host. And of course,
Hello, Lisa.
Colorado's a cool
Glad to
place.
see you, Lisa.
Anyway,
Hi, Cheryl.
and but back in the early days, the story goes that the springs was someone found the springs and it started getting bigger and bigger, and they started digging it bigger, and they was washing cars and stuff like that.
You can still talk over here.
Oh, and they was washing cars in the springs because it was the only place they could get hot water, and the water was coming out of the ground. And there's 2 or 3 springs, big springs in the United States, especially the one up at where the volcano is.
For those of you just coming in, we're talking about our map and we're putting everybody on the map. I've got Lisa right down here. Lisa's down here, right there. And I got to go over here to the Carolinas and put our Aunt Becky in. We don't have her in yet. And it's just a little pin of a general, area in the town where you are. It's not the same as your address, but she lives in Case, South Carolina.
Never heard of that one.
I know it's a little town. South Carolina. There's a Case, Kentucky too.
Yeah, well, there's a Louisville
It's right below Columbia.
in Columbia. That's south.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's the museum. I know where the museum is, Becky. So you go right below Columbia, and it is just right on the outskirts.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to take a little pin, a push pin, and there's Columbia. And my eyes won't let me see it, but Case is right to the lower part of Columbia. So there's our Aunt Beck. Aunt Beck, you're on the board. We're just doing this for fun. Yeah, right next to it. And you crossed the river. There you go. I got you right beside the river. We will be in January. We are going to be doing an international book, and we're going to be doing it of the United States. I'm going to use a 3-ring binder, and I think I'm going to do 1 page for each state. And I might just do front and back, and that means I would only need 25 pages in the 3-ring binder. And we're going to try to do a little page on each state. And I'm going to ask everybody from your state to send me 1 tiny envelope of something about your state. So I can do a little dedication page to it. So now, who else is in here that I do not have on here yet? I've got Melissa in here and Janet. Okay. Then I've got Janice Glines and Cheryl and Melissa in Virginia.
Yeah.
And
hop, skip, and jump. Oh,
they are. Kathy is from around Charleston, West Virginia. I will definitely put that on here.
Yep.
Thank you, Kathy. She's from Tad, West Virginia, and it's right beside Charleston. And I like to look things up. TADWV. Sure
My
is.
girls live in Ashland there. Of course, you know that. And that's 52 miles from Charleston.
Well, they took the pen out. That don't help me none. Let's go back. So it's right there. It's right there and right under the Virginia in West Virginia. So who else? Did you get Kathy? Okay. Aunt Beck says we are known for Christmas in Crace that promotes KC. Pronounced KC.
That's cool.
Okay, KC is case. Okay, I probably won't remember, Becky, but I will definitely try. It's pronounced KC. Cayce. Gotcha.
Casey.
I'll do my best. So, oh, there's Brad. Let's see now. I don't have Brad in here. He lives in Mississippi, down here in Mississippi. So I can look Brad up too. And I've got Brad under two addresses. But we're going to put uh, his where he lives. Where he lives. Let's see, Brian. There it is.
Hey, back in Louisville, right across the river from Louisville, there's
Batesville.
is Indiana, and then Indiana has a Christmas Indiana, and they have the museum and the choo choo train and Christmas, and it's a really uh, we've been there several times. They have displays on the angels and live animal displays, and it's a nice setup. And
I found the Kroger's.
everybody always sends
There's a Piggly Wiggly.
their mail to them, and then they send the mail out saying it comes from Christmas.
Well, there's a Christmas Florida too. We have Christmas south of
Florida.
us.
Oh, okay.
Remember, it's right below Titusville on the road that cuts over to Orlando.
Okay.
Down there.
Yeah.
We do. They have alligators. Yeah, we do. We have a Christmas, and a lot of people will drive down there and put their letters in the mailboxes. They've got lots of mailboxes down there on the side of the road, and you put your mail in, and then you mail something to your grandchild or to your child, and it's posted from Christmas.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people do that. Let's see. I'm getting there. There's Mississippi, and Bates is right below Memphis, which is Tennessee. So you're up in the northern part of Mississippi. There's Oxford. So you live right there on Route 65. Is it 65? I can't see it. It's Route 86, 65, or something. So there is where Brian lives on that big fancy road. So I got Brian. Okay. Yep. Joe is from Louisville, Kentucky. And yep. I'm in Mississippi. Mississippi, and Vanessa's in Massachusetts. Now, did I get you? Did I get you, Vanessa? Did I get you? Did I get you? I might not have. I'm.
We haven't got the names listed yet.
Well, I'm not going to put names.
No, the person, the balls.
I'm not going to.
Pins.
They're just push pins.
Right.
Let me get Vanessa. No fear not, fear not. Okay.
Yep. I'm from Kentucky.
Yeah, he's a Kentucky boy.
Kentucky's got a lot of different characteristics of people, and where we lived in Ashland, the Judds, Mama Judd, and all the Judds live about 5 miles and went to the same school that my girls did.
Okay, we got to go all the way over here. Over here is where our Lovely little Vanessa she's from way up in here, this green part right over here.
Ooh, they make me chills.
She's probably got a little bit of coolness
I'd
going
say she
on.
got snow 85% of the time.
And she is west of Boston, and she's pretty much in the middle of Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
She's close to Springfield and a little bit to the right of Springfield, real close to Providence, New Bedford. That's over there too. So, yeah, you're in between Springfield and Providence. So, you're right there on that little letter right there. There's where she is from. So, you're real close to Rhode Island too,
Yeah.
Connecticut. Man, them are little states. So, there's where our Vanessa is. Woohoo! Let's see. I got Lisa. Brenda, did I get you? I think I did.
Yeah.
Who else do I haven't gotten? Can can you help me if I have not gotten you on here yet? Maybe you can help me. I got a lot of them done the other day.
Yeah, we lived in a little, it's, yeah, 22,000 people. It's a little town. But there was a lot of guitar players, and
Let's see.
Billy Ray Cyrus is one of them.
Yeah,
He grew
yeah.
up in the town uh, right next to us, and
Okay. Is there anybody else that I have not gotten on the map? I know there's more people than 15 of y'all in here, but we'll get everybody little by little, and this is going to be an ongoing project. This shows where everybody is from, and I think it's really cute to see it all on a map. I think I'm a visual aid type of a person, and I love seeing everybody. I know there's more people because I know I've got Ruth is up in Nova Scotia, and I think there's a couple of more Canada girls. I've already got Carol, and then this is Barbara and Sherry, and there's more. There's more. I just can't roll them off of my head. So, yeah, Nova Scotia. And Aunt Beck says, I'm originally from a little town not far from Burhampton, New York, just
wow.
above Scranton, PA. Well, she's from all up in here somewhere. That is so cool,
Just above
Becky.
New York,
Yeah, yeah,
Hampton.
yeah. And my eyes are just terrible, terrible. I tell you, but that's neat. It's we live. It's a small world. Cheryl says she's originally from San Diego, California.
Hey.
Now, who was it? Who was it? And I want to say Cheryl. It must have been somebody else who was from Chimney Rock. Remember when we did some reverse collage in the America book?
Chimney Rock, that's out at west, ain't it?
Yes.
That's one of the
It's like
monumental.
it's like Nebraska or something. I don't remember now, but it's one of you guys. I'm from Rockwood, Tennessee.
Hey,
Rockwood, Tennessee. Well, Angie, I'll be glad. Angie, do you want me to put a push pin in for you? That's it. Cheryl's family is from Chimney Rock. You see, I remember some things in my brain. In my brain. I do. That makes me feel better.
Rockwood, Tennessee. There's good.
Oh, hot threads. Deanie is in South Dakota. Well, there'll be more times when I'll get some more people when they come in. Angie said if I want to. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. So Rockwood, Tennessee. I really would like the girls to be in here before we put every person in Phibbsville on. I do. We need for them to come in here so I can put it on and let them see me put it on. Angie said, I've already forgot it. Rock something. Uh, well, now I don't even see it.
Chimney Rock.
No, it was rock
Uh,
something. Ford,
oh.
Tennessee,
And Beck's Creations, her brother
and that
Charles
is
was married in Chimney Rock, North Carolina.
that is close to a golf course, right below Knoxville.
Uh,
Okay. I know Knoxville's on here, but I just don't see it where. There's Lexington, Frankfurt.
Knoxville, Tennessee.
I know, honey. I'm into. Oh, you're right. It would help if I go down a notch.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. There's Nashville, Columbia, Chattanooga. There's Knoxville. Okay, I'm putting a pin in for Angie in Tennessee, right below, right below it. Okay, there you go. Angie's on the board. Okay, thank you, Angie. Oh, Rockwood. Okay, I think that's what came up. I'll double check. My brain, it's not the long term brain. It's the short term.
That's why you got a problem, honey.
I know it.
It's all short term.
Oh, you're over on the other side. Sorry. Thank you, Angie. Thank you, honey. You're not near there at all. Let me put this back up. You went over. It went over west, and you are close to. There's a Walmart. I see Walmart. I think that's funny when they
There's
put you
15
beside.
Walmarts in every state.
Maybe you are west. Go west. You are. I was looking for Columbia, Chattanooga. There's Chattanooga, and you are right up here in the middle towards Oak Ridge, Dayton, Rockwood, right there. You're right in the middle, right there, kind of in the middle. Okay, we got you, dear. Thank you. That's the only store you have. Well, that's why it's on the map because they didn't have anything else to put on the map, so they put Walmart on there. That is so funny. Okay. I think I've caught up on the map, and I love it. I love it. I will give you a little peep at the other map that I have, which is the world. And there's no way that I can put all of the United States in this little section right here because those pins are so big. I'd have to get little tiny sewing pins. So I'm not going to be doing. I'm not going to be putting any pins in the United States, or I might be able to do Canada. But anyway, we have Spain, and we've got a couple in England, we got somebody in Wales, we got somebody in Norway, and it seems to me that we had somebody on the west coast of Greenland. Who was that? Can't remember who it was. It's been a while.
Had somebody in Hawaii come in there.
Yeah, we'd had Hawaii, which is Shelly, and she lives. I can go ahead and put Hawaii on here. She lives in, I think, North Carolina now. But we're going to put Hawaii over here. So that's where Shelly was living at. And offhand, I don't know of anybody else at this moment on the world map. We've got Australia. We could do Australia. I think I'm just going to wait a little while and do it later. Um, uh, Hi, Colleen. We could put Colleen on here. I don't think she's on there yet. Colleen, we're working on the map. We are.
We're trying to decide whether Santa Claus is going to be able to make it on the
Oh, it
sled.
has nothing to do with that.
Well, I know.
She is in Myrtle Creek, Oregon.
Myrtle Creek, Oregon.
Myrtle Creek, Oregon. So we're going to get the other map. I could have put these back to back, I guess. Never thought about that. So we'll go back over here to Oregon.
The Oregon Road or the Oregon Pass. What was it called?
Oregon Trail.
Oregon Trail. That's the. Is that the one Daniel Boone took?
Yeah, he was on it quite a bit. Okay, she's on Interstate 5 or 6. I'm not sure. I can't see it. And she is over here on right below Roseburg. And what else is over here? Grant Pass.
Damn.
She's out in the middle of nowheres. Can't see a thing.
It's like pinning the tail on the donkey.
It is. It's kind of like pinning the tail on the donkey.
Got a mask on, you just.
She's over here. It's over here now. Myrtle Creek.
It's probably just another thing. Oh.
Right up from Reading. Okay, I'm going to have to wait till I can see. I can't figure it out. Okay, I can't see. Well, I get frustrated when I can't find something. I-5. Okay, it was a 5. Okay, Interstate 5. The lighting in here is terrible. That's all I can say. Do you have a flashlight, Joe?
Oh. Me?
And I'm looking for my magnifying glass. Have you seen my magnifying glass? Here. Let's just see.
Look worse.
That's better. There's Murder Creek right there. I see it. Found it. Murder Creek. You're on the map. You're right beside Sharon. Oh my heavens. The camera does not like my. The camera just went nuts. Oh my heavens.
What's causing it? You pulled it too tight?
Don't know. Okay. It just has to settle out. It just decided to go nuts.
It's got an upset stomach.
It does. Stop. Joe,
I'm gonna put this back down.
just stop. Okay. Okay. Let's see what we can do to get that quit. All right. Heavens to Betsy. What's going to happen next? Heavens. I don't know how to stop it. So,
There you go.
here we go. Now we're going to stop. Okay. My computer did not like whatever I did. I'm going to get back my hard fall book back over here. And earlier, when I first started, I put a spine on the back of it. I had a piece of cardboard and some fabric on the back of my spine. So this book is a little bit more manageable now to hold. So let's see, do a little flip through here and work in this book for a little while. Colleen says, I didn't mean to cause so much trouble. It was Myrtle Creek. Right when I screamed Myrtle Creek, it went crazy. Oh, heavens to Betsy. Whew. Oh, what excitement we have in here. Don't we have a lot of excitement? So I'm trying to, finish up some of these pages in here. And I was also putting a few things in the pockets and seeing if I can't put a few things in here like that and finish these pages up. So there's some more of these cutouts, these fall cutouts that we can put in, like right there. So, all right. Are we okay now? What were we doing before we were interrupted? I was felting, and I got some of our elves on there. I guess I can go back to that. But anyway, I've been gluing around in this today and just putting a few things extras in here. Just seeing what I can do. Just seeing what I can do here. Put a little bird in there. So, hi, Becky. Yeah, Sharon, you and Colleen should go to lunch. Go to lunch. And you know what you could do? Like I'm going to tell you what to do. But you could take a baggie, take just one baggie, 1 gallon size baggie, go to your craft room and fill that baggie up. Okay? And then when you all get together for lunch, you could trade baggies. Woohoo! Wouldn't that be neat? So I've got a few things there. And on this page, heavens to Betsy. Joe, you're awful quiet. Well,
Closed my eyes for a second.
did you?
Till I seen Becky Waters something popped up and said, "Hello, Beth and friends." Smiley face, sweet. Yeah,
So that would look good right there.
Cheryl's got her little guy, and he's waving at me. How you doing, Janet? Janice? Supposed to do a toast. Sharon Lumbar.
Okay, I'm just going to put that right here. Glue something down in my glue book. There's always a little room for something.
Yeah. Is that a nut? Uh,
An acorn?
Acorn. I was trying to say acorn, but I said nut. Yeah,
Whereabouts?
I'd read it, but it's backwards.
Oh, this little acorn over here. Yeah, it was one of my devotions.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I seen you do that. That was a nice one.
Yeah, I'm going to put the little fox on there now.
1313, 1413
What's 1413?
people, and thumbs up's 13.
Oh,
It just changed right when I said that.
all right.
All right.
Excuse me, I got the hiccups. It was my dinner. I had such a wonderful dinner
Hi,
tonight.
Lisa. How you been?
Okay, bye, Lisa. I probably gave it to you.
What? Bad headache.
My when it was doing all that crazy stuff. Check your live button. Make sure you all are live on the video. Make sure you're live.
I'm alive. Restart. Yeah. Thank you, Cheryl.
I had up home when I was living in Ashland, Kentucky. Had a girlfriend, and her um, talking about headaches. Lisa was having a terrible sharp headache. Her son used to have headaches and seizures, and it turned out to be from playing too many video games, and the video games having the the flashing
Oh,
lights
yeah.
and the interaction of video games, and they blamed it on the video games. So he was limited to how many video games he could play, and that reminds me of Lisa just now said that she had a headache.
Well, it's just like your eyes. Your eyes go in,
That's
and
going to look so pretty right there.
if you thought about how many times your eyes focuses in and out on adjustments,
It's no
that
wonder,
that
yeah.
little muscle, your eyes, it's in this just another total awesome gift that God has given us, and we need to really appreciate, say thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Really, our vision.
You know, I'm I get outside and work a while. And last night or the other night I was working, and I was working on a lawnmower, and I pulled a wire out of the the lanyard that goes down into the mower that makes the throttle work, and it was all rusted up, and I was trying to get it to work, and it ended up not working because it's been outside for a while, several years, and so I got it apart and pulled it out and greased it up real good and put oil on it and everything. Was going to put it back together, but when I went to do it, the little stopper at the end of the metal wire, it was a cable wire. It wasn't just a solid wire. It was kind of like a cable, and it it took and broke, and I lost the piece on there. And we always think about, you know, the times that we say and ask God to give us blessing to help us do better and help us to do this and help us to do that, and when we lose things, we need to find, um,
Joe, you're talking in circles.
well, anyway, so all you got to do is just ask him again. You know, he wants you to talk to him. He wants you to ask him for these things. These blessings here are just small to him, and they're big to us.
Would you go and get me something icy cold to drink?
So,
Hmm.
so count your blessings.
Yep, one by one. That is so pretty right there. It's a little napkin, part of a napkin. Okay. I'm just slipping through and putting a few things down in my book, just little bits and bobs, odds and ends, and cutting out some of these fall things from this scrapbooking paper that I got from the Dollar Tree. Like that. And we'll put this over here, right here. It looks good right there. I gotta let this dry over here. It's a napkin and it will definitely, it's not wet yet. It's still wet, so I'm gonna put that on there. That's all right. That's all right. Enjoy the colors of autumn. We can do that. Just putting a few gluey things down in my glue book and adding to the fun. Just adding a little bit here and there. Oh, Cheryl's having dizzy spells. Okay, honey. Okay, Ray, all right. Let's see. It's 7:30. Is there any? Do y'all have any requests? I thought this little hedgehog would look good on this page. Hedgehogs are popular this year, or is it the time of year? I'm not sure. So he's going to go in on the page over here. There he is. Yeah, Cheryl and Teresa are both on their phones. It's hard. It's hard to type on the phone and everything. So this one might look good over here. The tractor pulling the wagon. I can cut it out a little bit more. There we go. There's his exhaust. And there's the steering wheel and his chair. And then the back of the tractor and then the wagon. And the wagon has pumpkins inside. Like that. And it's going to go right there. Looks good. Alrighty. This page just needed a little bit of something something, and that was it. There we go. Thank you, Joe. Just going to put that right there. Okay. I could put a little bit of that here. And I'm like I said, I'm just finishing up some of the pages that we've already worked on to see what else goes in here. That one looks good. I don't think it needs anything else. I can cut out some leaves. Some of these leaves. We had so many trees growing up when I was a kid. I couldn't count all the trees that we had on our property. There were so many trees. We had a lot of fruit trees. We had a lot of nut trees. So we did. We had a lot of trees. We lived in the, we were right outside of city limits on the river. And there were just lots of trees where we lived. We were kind of in out of city limits. There were just a lot of trees. And add some more leaves there. Let's see. Hi, Joy. Welcome, Joy. Hi. Oh, Cheryl was at the table making fabric clusters. Oh, that's good, Cheryl. I like to make clusters. I've got a couple of cluster boxes. I should get them out. So I'm just working in my little glue book here, just adding some little pieces to it. Adding a few things to it as we go. And I've asked suggestions on what you would like for me to do next. And I haven't seen anything. Was that a request to do some clusters? Is that a request, Cheryl? You want me to do some clusters too? I will. That sounds like a fun idea. So I'm going to put this here. And I'm going to tear it apart. And I think I'm going to paint the background. And I'm going to add just a tad of gesso to my paper. Like that. And I'll get my brush. As soon as I find it, the one I want. I guess it'll be this brush. And I'm just spreading out the gesso. And I'm going to add a little green to it. And this is real thicket. It's a thick thicket. Thicket is a type of green. And that's what I'm going to put on there. There goes Abby, dog alert. And I'm going to just lay my brush down there a minute. I'm going to get a credit card. And I'm going to spread my paint out with it. Like that. Like that. And I get close to the edges as I can. And then I can wipe this card off and put it back. And maybe use my brush to smear out a little bit. And I think it looks grand. Put that back in the water. Now I can put some glue down and glue my napkin down. Like that. So there's one. And there's the other. Looks good. Okay. And it looks good with this page. And now we'll clean that brush out. And I'm going to tear this napkin off at the edges. And then that page is done. She posted some pictures. You want to see me do some clusters? I can do it. So I'm going to put this over to dry. And I like the way we did the spine on this. It's much more manageable now. So I can use some of these in my clusters. I might be able to use a bird. I can make me some bird clusters. Fussy cut these little birdies out. Clusters it is. And I can put some of the, if I make fall clusters, I can put them in my fall book. So there's one little bird. Okay, there's two little birds. There's another bird. Well, they're going to be cute. They're going to be real cute. There's one more. All right. Now I've got a little cluster box, and I think I know where it is. Just have to go over here and get it. Yep, I see them. I've got two of them over here. We'll just see what we can find. We'll just see what we can find in these boxes. And I might even use a couple of things out of here. Let's see. Let's just see what we can find. This is has some fall things in it, like this raffia, and I'm just going to pull one out and see if I can't use part of it. Oops, sorry, in some of my clusters. just the natural fiber. And I do have a little bit of burlap. And there's another piece right here. There's some string. So that'll work. Little of this. And this, there's two of them here. So this one looks like it could be where there's a little bit of Christmas, but it could be anything. You can use anything out of here. Okay. And this one too. This one looks like it's got, yep, this one's got a lot more fall in it because it's got leaves. So I'm going to make a cluster, and I think I'm going to use my stapler. You can do clusters in any way you want to. You can do them with glue. You can pin them. You can pin on them, and you can. There's no right or wrong with clusters. So if I start off with this, I might want to put a little piece of lace on it. Maybe a little piece of fabric. Got this green. Now this fabric here, it's polka dot, but it's called Swiss dots. And it's felted. These little dots are felted upward. And I do not know how they do it. It might be that they're poked through and then little dots are bleached. But it's an antique piece of fabric. And I'm going to get my pinking shears out because I think it looks cute to cut your fabrics with designs. But I'm just going to pick a piece of this and lay it on here with my bird. There's a piece of orange ribbon, a piece of white yarn, a bow. Yep, yep. There's another piece of lace, and I've got my thumb over all of the pieces right there where my thumb is, and nothing will fall off. I've got everything held down with my thumb. So when I staple, I want to staple right there. See if there's some more burlap. I'd like to have some burlap in there, but I'm going to put it underneath. I could even do it on the back side. I'm going to lift my lace up and put it underneath my lace, and I'm going to let the burlap hang off. And I'm going to turn this just so that you can see enough of the head of the bird. And there's a piece of paper. I think that's it. That's all I'm going to do. And right where I have my thumb is where I'm going to use my staple. And it's holding everything on here. That is a little cluster. Now, if I want to, I could take the bow, and I could maybe even glue if it's popping up. But I fixed it. I just pulled it, and it's sitting on there much better now. That is a little cluster. And I am going to take and trim the head of the bird. And I'm going to put an eye. I think he needs a little eye. So I've got a little bling box or sequence box over here that I think I might be able to put a little eye on my bird. Let's see what we can find over here, like these little sequins. I could put a brad, and I could put a little button. And I'm just going to have to go with the first thing that I see, and that's a little brad. And I'm going to give him a green eye. So I'm just going to poke it through the paper. if I can. And it's wallpaper, so it's tough. So it's being difficult. So now that it's taken me a few minutes, I've changed my mind. Am I allowed to change my mind? So I'm going to switch over to a green sequence now, a sparkly instead of the brad. So here they are, and I'm just going to. I think I can peel it off. It's sticky on the back, and I'm going to stick it down and see if it'll stay. And there's my little bird. There he is. If I could get the eye down right. So there he is. There's my cluster. Isn't that cute? He's cute. Let's make another one. We can put this in my harvest book. I have another yellow bird. Got another piece of burlap. I might as well go ahead and get the eye on there because I liked the way I did the eye. So I'll take it off and put it right where the eye goes on the bird. Inspiration. And we're going to use another piece of lace. This is a different piece. And there's a piece of green stripe. And I'm going to put it under my lace. Oops. And maybe put something on top of it, like a leaf. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That would work. So I'm going to, it needs a bow or something. Okay, let me get a piece of yarn or something here. Here's a little ribbon, a bow. So I will put it so the leaf hangs out. And there's the bow. And I'm going to staple that right where it all comes together. Right together. All right, like that. Here's my little cluster. Now I think he needs something else. No, he all of a sudden he got real sleepy. So I think he went in there and laid down on the bed. He did. I ran him off. So I do have some buttons in here that we could put on this one. I think he needs a button. So I'm going to look at my button box. And I forgot to use some of the raffia that I had pulled off. Will you put it on the next one? So let's see. No, don't like that. Sorry. There's a yellow button, a square. I think it needs to be a color, different color, like a green. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Maybe a blue. Well, how about white? A little lamb. How about just how about a pretty gold? Now we're talking. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put that on there. Now this is a button that has um, a back, a little back on it. I'm going to see if I can't clip it off. I've got some tools over here. And I think I can because it's a plastic back. And I just have a pair of wire cutters. And if I just push it downward, there it goes. Come right off. So now it's flat. And I'm going to glue it down. And I'm going to use tacky glue. And I'm going to put it right there in the middle. Like that. A little glob. And I'll put that little gold button there. Look at that. There's a cluster. There's two. And you can still build on them. You can still do more things. I do have some safety pins. And as soon as I find my pins, I'll put, I've got little tiny, the bulb safety pins. And I can put some beads on them to pin on. And I'm trying to think, where do I keep my bulbs? My safety pin bulbs. I've got paper clips. And that'd be something else. You could put a paper clip on it. Like this one is a clothespin. You could put this little clothespin on there. That would be cute. But I'm looking for my bulbs. And I don't know where I have them. They might be in this drawer. Been a while since I got after them. There they are. There they are. I got them with my safety pins. So anyway, here's some of my little bulbs. Call them light bulbs. Safety pins. For trying to make some little bows. Yes, I have seen, Teresa, them make bows with use a fork to tie a baby bow. Yes. So I'm going to put some of these in here. I'm going to use one. And then I'm going to put this away. And I'm going to get my beads out because I love my beads. Love, love, love my beads. That's tea. Joe made me some tea. So I have a little bulb. And I'm going to open it up. And I'm going to go for yellow and green. Yellow and green beads. So here's a little seed bead. And they will go on this little bulb like that. So I just want to add some more beads to it. I'll put a green bead on there. This one is a little pearl bead. It's a little round bead. And I think it'll go on there. And then I'll put another little bead. And they're hard to do. A little bit hard to do. And then I'm going to pin it onto my fabric that's already on my cluster. And it doesn't matter how you get it on there, just so you get it on. And that's what I did with my cluster. I've got a button, I've got a rib bows, and I've got a little tiny bead, some beads. Now you can also glue your beads down. Good night, Angie. Okay, honey. Oh, I hope you rest well, Angie. You've had a busy, busy day, girl. I saw where you were busy. So there's my little cluster, and I don't know, but I'm thinking it might be done. I am. I'm thinking it's done, and I'm going to pull my other part of the bow down, and I tucked it under the button, and the button has a little bit of glue underneath it, so it will hold that part of the bow down, and it sort of tamed it down a little bit. See, I like that. That is really cute. I'm going to leave that one. That one's done. Now on this one, I found a little clothespin. So we could do the same thing with this. We could just clothespin it on to the ribbon and let it sit like that. If anybody else has any suggestions, I'll do it. It's a cute little cluster chick, isn't it? So this one, what does it need? Does it need a little bit, at least a little bit of a bead on there? I'm just going to glue this bead on separately. Now, if you want to sew it on, you can. You could sew it on, and that would make the cluster uh, even more special because you took the time to sew a bead on. But I just glued that bead on there like that in the middle. It's a little teardrop bead. And I'm going to say that this one's done. Thank you. They're sweet. Yes, they are. So I'm going to get another bird. I got the three more birds to do. Three more birds. Let me move my beads out of the way. I will be getting them back out. I promise. Because I gotta have my beads. And I might as well go ahead and get me some bulbs out. Three more. So now these birds here are blue. And I'm going to try to use some of this. I can make a bow out of it. I can show you. I made. I sat around last year, and I would sit around and make all these little tiny bows. And one evening I did that, probably in front of the TV or something, or sat here and did them, and made up all these little tiny bows. And it's really really easy to do. I'm going to show you. I'll show you how I do it. As soon as I find something to show you with. I was looking for a piece of yarn. And my snippet jar fell on the floor. So let me get my snippet jar out. But if you want to make some tiny, tiny bows, you need some tiny, tiny thread or some yarn. And I'm just going to show you. I've got some white here too. Um, so you take either your yarn or your ribbon, okay? And I'm not cutting it just yet. So I take the ribbon in my hands and I make two, like you're doing tying your shoes, but you take two little loops of the ribbon, two little loops of the ribbon, and you tie them in a knot. And you get something like this. And then you can pull your tails till you make the perfect tiniest ribbon that you can make out of a tiny piece of a ribbon. You make the tiniest bow that you want. And then you are going to be a little bit wasteful on this end, but you have a darling little tiny bow. So you're going to take and your scissors, and you're going to snip your ribbon to your tails are exactly the size you want. And you will waste this much of your ribbon, but that's okay because you got a lot of ribbon to go through. And to get a tiny, tiny bow like that, it's well worth it. Okay? It's well worth it. I'm going to show it to you again. You take your ribbon and you make two bows. This is your ribbon, and you're making two bows. You get two loops. You tie the loops in a knot, and then you gently pull the tails to where your pretty little bow is exactly the size and the shape you want it. Tighten it up, and when you pull the tails, you get a tiny bow. You get the tiniest bow, and there you are going to waste a little bit on this end, but that's okay. It's going to be fine because you've got the perfect little bow. The perfect little bow right there. Two loops in a knot. Well, Becky, a cluster is a cluster. Now, does anybody need another lesson on bows? You can do it with yarn, you can do it with ribbon, you can do it with anything you got, anything that you have. You can you can use anything with clusters. Anything with your clusters. The sky's the limit. So I just used, and these birds came off of some wallpaper, right? Well, sure. And I'm going to be doing some more uh, clusters when Christmas comes around, and we're going to put them on Christmas cards. So that is in itself is a way you can do a cluster on a leaf. Let's make a leaf cluster. This is a silk leaf from the dollar store. Okay, and you might want to put this is some um, ribbon that came from the Dollar Tree last year, and it's kind of like it's um basket weaved loosely, and this is all of it that's left. So I'm going to put that in the middle of my leaf and hang it off the edge a little bit. I've got some more fabric in here. I can use yellow. I could use a little bit of this yellow. I don't have to have it all, just a part of it. Snip it. So there's a piece of summer daisies. Here's a piece of lace of some sort. It's too big and I'm not happy with it, but I do like this little lace. That looks okay. Maybe I'll switch to something that you can see through. If you don't want snow white, here's some ivory shade of basting binding. So I've got, and if you can't see something in the back, you can maneuver it around so that you can see it. You see, and then you're going to layer these to where you're going to see them, and you might put a button on your piece like this. and you might want to sew it on. So we will get my needle and threads out and see if I can't sew it on. Come on. Now I have to make sure my needle will go through the button, because if it won't go through the button, there's no sense in doing it. Oh, it will. So I've got a little tiny piece of black thread. I'm going to go down the rabbit hole into the button, and then I'm going to hold the tail right here, and then I'm going to go back up the back side of the button to the front like that and pull my thread through. I pulled the thread off the needle, put the needle away, and then I have this little black thread holding all of my cluster together, and I'm going to tie a knot. I won't be able to tie a bow because it would be too hard. Now, if my black thread was a little bit longer, I could have tied the tiniest little bow on here for sure. But I don't mind these tails hanging off. So I sewed all that together with one stitch, tied a knot, everything. Now I did lose my this part, which is okay. Um, it's a type of wire mesh, and I'm going to stick it back underneath my leaf, and I'm going to just glue it down a little bit so that some of it shows. See, I like the sparkle on it. I don't know if you can see the sparkle. So I'm just going to put a dot of glue underneath my fabric, and I'll glue that little piece in since it came off of my it's unraveling is what it's doing. It's unraveling. But I'm not going to worry about it. I just glued it on there a little bit and it'll stay. It's a little bit wire. It's a little wire and it's cute. It's fine. We'll leave it like that. Now, I've got some more ribbon in here. Let's see. I don't have a bow on here yet. So I can take a bow that I've already made and I can glue it down onto my cluster. So it's okay to keep adding on. So I'm going to put this bow right there on my leaf and add a dot of glue. If I wanted to, I could staple it on there. I can still work with it. And I'm putting that dot of glue right underneath the corner of that button. And so that's where this bow is going to go. And I'll tuck it underneath that corner for safekeeping, like that. So the button is on the bow and on the glue. Now I think that my black string is too long. So I'm just going to snip it off a little bit. And I like that better. Now, what else does my cluster need? I know you get to add more and more and more and more. I've got a little piece of pearl string. It's pearls on a string. It's plastic and it's a things that you add on to your decorations. And I think I'm going to glue that down. I'm just going to glue that down on my cluster, and maybe I'll stick it under this corner of the button with some glue. There we go. Let's see what it looks like. And I am using tacky glue. It's thicker and it'll dry a little faster. So I've got the other corner of the button, and I'm gotten these pearls tucked in beside the glue and the button. And that's what it's going to look like when it's done. And I think it's cute. Have fun, y'all. Okay, Becky. Becky's got to go. Okay, Becky's got to go fix dinner. So anyway, there's a cluster, and I think it's done. I think it's got enough on it. So there's some clusters. And I'm going to take some of these clusters and put them in my fall book. So I'm just going to lay these over to the side since I'm kind of done with them. I think that's enough on them. You can put as much as you want. I even have stickers. There's some pumpkin stickers from last year. So I can use a pumpkin sticker uh, on one of my clusters. I've got a scarecrow. Let's try him. I'll use a bird. And this scarecrow is hanging out with the birds. Because he's always got a bird on his shoulder somewhere along the line. So we'll use him and we'll put him on this bird. And let's put a piece of fabric down. Here's a piece of fabric. Let's see. I think it's too big. So I'm going to take my pinking shears and just cut a strip of that off. And if you look, this is the edging of the fabric that has the commercial advertisement on it, and I'm going to use it. I am. So I'm going to put that on my bird first, and I think I'm going to use a piece of lace. I've got a little piece of lace here. Put that on the bird, put the fabric on the lace, and then put my scarecrow on top of that. And what else? I need some ribbon. I could put a sticker. I could put a pumpkin sticker on there. Let's show you how I do that. Just take and put it underneath on the bird. And then you just want to make sure we show that when we make our cluster to see our little pumpkin. I'd like to have a piece of this. I've been talking about it all night. And I'm going to put this underneath the between the fabric and the lace. And I'm going to pick a point in the middle uh, of the scarecrow and the lace and all of the extra little goodies. And this is the center part. And I'll go ahead and put a ribbon on here that I've already made up. And I've got my center right where my thumb is. And I'm going to put my staple right there when I staple it together. And it's going to get a little bit of everything. It's going to staple the ribbon, the scarecrow, the fabric, the raffia, and the lace and the bird together. It's all connected. It's all connected by that one little stapler. You can always use glue to reinforce if you want. No problem. Now I think he might need a button. So let's see what kind of a button we can put on here. This little button has like a clock, and it's kind of cute. So I'm going to find a tiny needle. I need a little needle to go through the buttonhole. And I don't think that this needle will go through it. Nope. I got to find a smaller needle head. Another eye. This eye will go through. So I'm going to find some thread. And I'm going to use embroidery thread. So let me get some embroidery thread. And I've got some real pretty orange, and I'm going to get a nice long piece. Thread my needle. And get my scarecrow back. And my button. And it is a clock. So I am going to go down into the clock, and I'm going to go through all of the thicknesses that I go through. You might need a thimble to push your needle through. And then I'm going to hold a tail of my thread, and I want this thread long. And now I'm going to go back up to the other side of the button, and we'll see what we can do. I'm going to go back up. Sometimes I push it down on the table. Perfect. Perfect. I hit it right on the nose. And now I'm going to take my needle. I still have the thread and the button. I'm going to look for some beads that will go onto uh, my thread. And if you want, you can go ahead and tie a knot while you're at it. So everything is secured. Nothing's falling apart. I still have my thread needled. I still have my needle on the thread. I'm going to get my beads back out. And I'm going to look for some orange beads, maybe a green bead. And it has to go over my needle. So it has to be a pretty good size hole. Sometimes these beads are, the holes aren't very big. So I'm not sure. So I've got to find a bead that has a good hole in it, a nice size hole. And if I can't, the other option I have is to take my needle off of the thread, and I take and put a little bit of glue on my finger on the end of the thread where the thread is. And right there's a little bit of glue, and I'm going to twist it. I twist it and I pull the glue off at the same time, and it dries. The glue dries, and it leaves it a little bit of a hard tip on the thread, and that is your what I call a thread needle. And it will go in between. It will go between some beads. It'll take some bead. It'll go through into some beads, the smaller size. The needle wouldn't go through, but the thread will. So I put a nice little yellow bead onto that one. See the bead on the button by using my thread as a needle, and I went into the bead. Have beads, you got to know how to do everything with beads. So then I can take my thread and I can tie another knot and tie that bead on. You can do anything you want. Whatever looks good to you is what you can do. And you can just leave it like that. I have enough thread on here, and this is embroidery thread. I have enough thread to tie a bow, and I made a big bow, and then you pull the tails to make this tiny bow. Pour the tails, make it tight, and you pull them again to make a tiny, tiny bow. Then you get to trim your embroidery thread. And if you want, you can place a tiny piece of glue, a tiny touch of glue on the middle of that bow right there so that it won't come undone. The glue will dry clear if you put a little bit of glue on it, and you can see the glue is on the bow, and just let that dry. And then you don't have to worry about your bow coming undone. But you got a cute little floppy bow and a bead. There you go. So, and if your bows are too long, you can always trim your bows if you need to trim them, but they're fine. The raffia is sticking out a little far, maybe. You can trim it off. It's secured on with uh, the staple, and there is your little scarecrow bird cluster. So there it is. Isn't it cute? So there's another cluster. I've got. Did I have another bird? I don't remember if I had another bird or not. I guess I used them all. I did four. So, oh no, I have another bird. Here's a bird. Okay, so I'm going to move my bead and see. We'll make one more. One more. I'll do one more. Oh, I have two more birds. Two more. So I'm going to go into the box underneath since we've been in this one for a little while. And I'll just take some of these fabrics and stick them back down in there. This yellow fabric would look splendid on this bird. And if your fabric is too big or too long, just maybe catty quarter it like that and double it. I'm going to try doubling it, and I'll go down below. I still want some of this raffia, so I'll take a piece of that with me. And I'm going to go into the box below me and see what's in this box for a little while. So I'm going to put this inside my fabric. Oh, that'll be fabulous. Fabulous. I've got a piece of yellow rickrack. This looks like something the bird might use for his nest. I've got some little punch outs designs. I could put that on there. There's some more of this thread. And I love this antique thread. It's dry rotted thread. A lot of it is dry rotted, but I love just taking and putting some of it on the cluster just by little a little wad of it, or how whatever you want to call it. Let's see. There's some safety pins already made up. Look at this one. Now here's a pin, and it's for beads, and it's a safety pin, and it's already got the beads on it. So I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to attach it to everything on my card and hold everything down. Actually, I need to probably staple it anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and staple this as well because of that little thread's not going to stay down. It needs something else to attach it, but that's okay. So I stapled it too. And look at my cluster. If the raffia is too wild, you can give it a little trim like that. And I think it still needs a button. And this is a real old button. And it's plastic, but it's ivory and dirty looking. And I think it would look perfect right there. So I'm going to take some more of this thread and put it in my needle. Let's see the needle that I had. I'm pretty sure I put it back on the pin cushion. I guess this is it. There we go. So I'm threading my needle. And I'm going to go to the back of the bird. I could still go to the top. And what I'll do is I'll leave a little tail uh, of this thread on top, and then I'm going to go back through to the front with my needle, and now I'm going to go through my button, and there's my button, and I'll push it down to the top of the bird, and then I'm going to go back through to the back, and I'm tying my button on now. So that looks all right. And I can go back to the front, and I want to use different holes because this is still paper, even though it's wallpaper. It's thicker than usual, but it still could tear. So I made my X on the back. I did 4 different holes, and I'm going to just tie this around the button and tie a knot like that. And I don't have to cut it real close. I can leave a tail, but I did tie a knot. But here's my end of my string around my button. And if I wanted to, I could just take and separate these two, wrap the thread around the button a couple of times, and then I can tie another knot to secure my button. My button will not come off. It's not like you're going to be picking at it or doing goofing off with your button. It's just going to be it's a decorative. It's just a decorative. So there's my cluster, and it's simple and pleasing to the eye. You need an eye on here, okay? I can do that. And I've got some other eyes. A little gold eye might be all right. Come here. Okay. I'm not having any luck right here, but I do. I'm going to put some of these away so I won't spill them. I'm getting too many out. Okay. And this one's going in. And then in this one, Okay, I'm happy. There he goes. There's his eye. There's a little gem. You have eyes on all of them. This one doesn't have an eye. I can put an eye on him too. I got squiggly eyes. That might just look too weird. He looks okay with the scarecrow. We'll give him an eye. It's kind of hidden underneath the lace. Come on out of there. There we go. So he's peeking out of there. There's his little eye. You can do anything you want. Okay, I got one more to do, and then I think we'll tally up for the evening and quit. So many things to make, and not enough time to do it in. Here's a pretty uh, cluster. This would look pretty on this little bird. And I'm going to use a little piece of this. Well, maybe I'll use another piece of color. Let's see. We'll do something different. Oh, here's a cluster from last year, and it's just little pieces of paper and fabric, silk, a butterfly print, a piece of lace, and a pin and a bow. And I stapled it on there with a staple. And that's a cluster. But I think the bird clusters are a hit. I like the bird clusters 10 to 1. But that's how I used to make them last year. So that's all right. Let's get one of these out. And I like this flower too. Layer a couple things down. We could put a big button on there. We could put just a regular little button on there. I like that too. And then this little bulb has 3 little pearls on it. So we can use that. This might be pretty. Oh yeah, let's try this one. And then we got to put him an eye on. And we could even put a pom-pom on it. I got some tiny pom-poms. Or got a gem. I got way too much glue. That's all right. And we'll put this down. Staple that. And we could go ahead and put a little drop of glue on top of the staple and put that button right on top of the staple like that. And then we could get I'm going to use this pearl. This is a yellow bow. And we could take our pearls and attach it on. They're a little bit fidgety, just a little. Okay, we got to get this pin on there like that. Like that. And we'll put one more drop of glue, one for the ribbon and one for the button. Like that. There we go. Okay. And there is way too much glue on the eye, but it will dry clear. I just had too big of a glob, but it will be fine. There we go. Woohoo! We're making the clusters. Now, let's see. We've we can put our pins up. Got extra pins. Got some pumpkins. I mean, you can even use little pieces of napkins on your clusters. Of course, I love all these little cutouts that we've been doing. That's fun. Anything you can use anything in your possession, from fabric to ribbons to lace to yarn, and because your cluster is it's um, it's going to be just something that you attach to a page, or to a corner of a photograph, or and I went ahead and just put me up a couple of boxes of clusters, and you can see how I got to digging in them. And once you gather up all and fill up all the little holes in your bead boxes, you know, one cluster box will last you forever. It seems like. Okay, Cheryl said she posted something. Okay, let's see here. So I'm just tickled to death about that. I just posted Tuesday's pictures. I have not been into Facebook for 2 days, And my post was ready to be posted, and I did not touch the post sign until just now. So I just now posted my Tuesday stuff. Heavens to Betsy. Here's Cheryl's. Oh, how nice. Very nice. You've got some tags. You've got some pretty, pretty, pretty lacy ribbons and some fabrics and pins and butterfly. There's a sticker. Oh, how nice. And buttons and fabrics. Very nice. And it's a cluster. It's just a cluster. And you use what you have. And it's fun to sew them. It's fun to trim on them. You did a grand job. Grand job. Totally love them. Thank you, Cheryl. Is Vanessa still in the room or did she have to go? She posted a few things that she made in November. Excuse me. I think I inhaled a piece of dust. Okay. Alrighty, that's cute. Aw. Um, for those of you that were talking to me earlier in the stream, Brittany Linger was in here, and we were sending Brittany's mom, Karen, some happy mail because she's getting ready to have some surgery, and we kind of like we all just sent her some of us just sent her a little something something, and and Janice Glines sent her a whole bunch of little happy mail, and some ACT cards and some love. Sent her a little bit of love, and that was sweet. And she did get a card from us here in this chat room. We sent her a get well card for her surgery, and I'm not sure, but I'm thinking it might be next week that she's going to have her surgery. So we'll keep her in our prayers. Oh, look what she Teresa's sending me a tag for Jefferson County, and I there's a Jefferson County where Joe lives. I wonder if it's a map. So that'll go in the map in the USA book. So anyway, we could go on and on and on. So thank you, Cheryl, for that. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And these are my sequins, so I'm gonna put these back up. And you see, these little things would be cute to put on my. I've got these little bees, and I've got ladybugs too. But they're wooden beads. They're little wooden beads, but they've got a sticker on the back of them. And so I could put a little bee on here. All I have to do is take that little round paper off of the sticker part, and it will stick wherever I put it. So where do we want to put it? We'll put it down here on his tail. So there's another little element to my cluster. I think it's so interesting to look at. Let's see, I got another yellow one. There's a scarecrow. He needs a bumblebee. Where's the scarecrow? I'll give him a bumblebee too. So you can stick these little stickers on your clusters. And I'm going to stick it out here on the end of this fabric out here. And he's just flying by to say hi. He's just going to say hi. Here's another one. Now these bees are not mean or anything. These are honeybees, and they're still flying around down here in Florida. They're getting ready to hibernate. They're getting ready to hibernate. So we did those. Those are fun to add on to my clusters. That's a good thing. So let me get my clusters out over here. My bird clusters. And let's see. And we've got a leaf cluster as well. And I'm going to take a picture of them and I'll post it. Very, very cute. I think maybe I'll go this way. Yeah, that's what we'll do. And then I'm going to go ahead and move my cluster boxes out of the way and bring back my harvest book. And let's see where we can put one or two of these clusters in my book. What do you say? Definitely on the front page. And I could glue it down or staple it down. I don't think the staple would hurt anything. So I could just go in here and secure it down. Oops. I missed the there it goes. So there's our bird on the front page, although it blends in an awful lot, but we've got more. Let's find another page. There's a yellow page. We can just put them all the way in here all over the place. So I've got a leaf, the scarecrow, and a green bird. Yellow bird. You can't even tell that the staple's holding it down. So I got a leaf. This would go good with the acorn. So it's too far inward to put a staple. So I'm just going to use a glob of glue. I could use some double-sided tape, but glue will work. Glue will work. And we'll just put it right here. Ta-da! That's good. Now here's our, I got one more. And it's got a lot of blue in it. So there is a blue page over in here. Like this page. But is that going to be too blue? Let's try another page. Kind of like it right there. Fun, fun, fun. Definitely having some fun. We've got a few more pages left to do in here. I'm going to put it on the blue one on this with this doggy. And he's up here looking. He's looking at this bird. He's saying, "Hello, Mr. Cluster. Hello there. Nice to see you. So glad you came by to say hello." So there we go. And then our cluster book my fall harvest book shuts up nicely. And I've got a beautiful spine on the back. I got some beads over here going on the back. And yeah. So let's see what we got. I'm almost ready to quit. Uh, and I'd kind of like to put some more uh, decorations on the front of this book somehow. And fall would look good. Cut this out. Maybe put it right here. It just needs a little orangey something on here. Like that. That looks good. Put a little blue on it. Like that. And a little glue on this one. I just love gluing. I just love the glue. Uh, okay. Oh, sometime do a kitty cat cluster. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Rebecca would back you up for that. A kitty cat cluster. That sounds like fun. It does. Oh, I have one more on here. Shall I put it on the front? Think it would. Think it'd get tore up. I think it would get tore up. Maybe if I took the clothespin off. No, I'm afraid it'll get tore up. I'm not going to do it. But we can put it in the book. I'll put it in the pocket. I'll put it in the pocket for now. So anyway, I'm liking my fall collage book. It's coming along quite nicely. It still has room to fluff. So we will continue to work on that next time. And I just wanted to show you the other day when we worked in this book. We did Tuesday. We did a devotion, and I wanted to see how the leaves fared because I closed the book on the leaves because we used real leaves. And oh, I got something to share with you. If you don't know Bootsy, sweetheart, you need to go and hunt him down. He showed 5 different ways. I think it was five different ways you can preserve your leaves. and they would keep for weeks, maybe months. Uh, uh, you can take your leaves and dip them in. It was wax between wax paper. Uh, for some reason, everything just left me. Wax paper and paraffin wax, glue, Mod Podge. You can Mod Podge them on both sides. You can use either Mod Podge or Elmer's glue worked. But you need to paint both sides of your leaf. And there might have been another one in there that I can't remember, but he did a video on it this week. Very nice demonstration. And what he did is he went ahead and did the project like 3 weeks ago, and he had them on a paper, each had them on their own paper plate, and showed them off and showed them to you how they lasted and how they fared. And they all fared very well, especially the colored ones. And by dipping them in the paraffin wax, he used his hot cup heat. I got a little round thing here to put a hot cup of coffee on. And he had a little bowl of paraffin wax. And you can buy that at any grocery store, paraffin wax. It's for canning. And he just dipped the leaf in the wax, laid it on some wax paper, and let it cool. And of course, this here is a piece of paper, but this is a real leaf out of my backyard. So and then I did put some glue on some of these. Some of these had glue on them, so that would preserve them. But that's all that I did on my Tuesday devotion page. And I just thought it was interesting to tell you about the leaves if you're into, preserving some of your leaves. But this turned out really, really nice. And this was about letting your leaves fall. We need to let our leaves fall and cleanse ourselves, get rid of the negative and start anew. And that's about, falling of the fall. Because in the spring, all the new buds will come back out. So anyway, that was all I'm going to say. Yeah, if I find it, I'll post it on my video on my Facebook page. It was very interesting how and all you have to do is go in your yard and get you a baggie, a Walmart bag or something, and put you some leaves in here from your yard, and then you can choose what you want to use as your medium, whether you want to dip them in the wax. We've done wax all my life. We've always done the paraffin wax. And I would take all kinds of fall leaves and do that. And then I would scatter the leaves on my dining room table, like table scatter. And I would leave it on there till fall, till Thanksgiving. Oh, Melissa's comment. Okay. Melissa's still here. Yes. Do you see my horse? Did you see my horse book? No, I did not. You'll have to send me a picture of it. Will you send it to me? Did you send it to me? You were saying something about a horse book the other day, and I didn't know what. I don't understand. Did you get a new horse book? I thought you were starting a glue book with your horse and starting a new glue book horse book. It's what I thought. You'll have to talk to me, Melissa, and tell me. Hi, Vanessa. You're still here? Okay, sweetie. I'm glad. But Melissa's been trying to talk to me for a couple times, and I don't understand what she's wanting me to see. And if you don't post it or send it to me, I don't know what to do. So can you send me a picture of your horse book? Maybe that will work. I'll message her. And sometimes she's not. She gets behind, and I don't know if she knows how to hit the live. I've tried to teach her. But anyway, that's it, guys. That's all I'm going to talk about tonight. If you all have any suggestions, anything that you would like for me to do or talk about or share with you, just let me know. And I am going to say goodnight. It's 9 o'clock. Been on for 3 hours. I've been in here for 4. Joe, say goodnight.
Good night. Hey, I'll say a prayer for everybody on the
Yeah,
chat.
we'll keep everybody in our prayers. We sure will. So, good night, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with me.
Be safe.
We did some cute, 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 cute. Oh, I better post my clusters before I forget. And hit the post button. I can't believe. Oh, let's see. I want to go to my group. I want to go to me. And I want to post my pictures. Done. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you. If you have any more questions, message me, Melissa. Message me, sweetie, because I don't know what you're saying. Okay.
Good night, Melissa.
So thank you guys.
Doreen,
Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Cheryl,
Uh,
Vanessa.
post it. I forget to hit that last post button every time. All right. Good night.
Have a good night. Stay warm. Bye bye.
And yes, thank you. And we had